Landlords are now legally required to let tenants bring four animals into their rental.
Renters are being promised a fairer deal with the appointment of the state's first rental commissioner. It comes as tenants have been hit with staggering price increases and a dire shortage of available properties.
Or risk being dragged to NCAT. That's 4 guys, not 1, but 4. At this point, it's not a rental. It's practically a rescue shelter with a direct debit. And if you think this is just about pets, think again. So what are we really talking about today? Let's break this down, guys, because this isn't about being pro-dog or anti-cat. It's about how the New South Wales government keeps rolling out feel-good housing reforms,
but their solutions more often than not will make it far worse for families in New South Wales.
This is 2025 affordability in action.
After the Minns government went to the 2023 election promising to strengthen renters' rights, significant changes to tenant laws in New South Wales
that look great on social media, but absolutely out of touch to property investors like you and myself. And this is ruining investor confidence in the real world. In this video, we'll unpack what this new policy actually means for investors, how it puts more pressure on our already broken system, why this will backfire on renters and not help them, and what you need to do right now to stay ahead while the market turns against the landlords. So are you ready, guys? Let's get into it. So you might be asking, Q, what did they just pass? Now, before we talk about the effects of this, let's get clear on what this new pet reform actually says. As of May 19, 2025, New South Wales landlords must now allow tenants to have up to 4 animals, unless they can prove it's unreasonable. And you've got 21 days to reply to a pet request, or it's automatically approved. And advertising no pets is now against the rules. Sounds straightforward, right? But it's not. Because guess who decides what's reasonable? Not your property manager, not your insurer, but NCAT, NCAT. A tribunal member making a subjective call that could lock you into a permanent pet clause for the next decade. Now you might say, hey Q, this sounds like a little minor reform, until you realize how hard it hits behind the scenes. Which brings us to what's actually at stake if you own a property. This is the hidden cost of being a good landlord at the moment. Because guys, this is where it gets real. The moment this law kicks in, landlords are expected to carry the costs without the power. Like we're talking about scratch floors, pet stains, noise complaints, insurance that may not cover any of it. And this forced pet-friendly modifications, like fencing or pet doors, on your dollar, you can't go back to the bond where you charge your tenants and go, oh, I want to charge a pet bond on top of the bond you paid for your bloody extra pets. I mean, you can't even raise the rent to cover the extra damage costs as well. And all you can do is wait and hope it doesn't end up in a tribunal headache. And now if you're thinking, okay, Q, but this is just about being fair to renters with pets. Hold on a sec, guys. Let's zoom out for a second. This isn't about dogs. It's about control. Here's what this is really about. We're talking about power, guys. The New South Wales government is using feel-good headlines like pets for tenants to distract us from the fact that they're trying to gut landlord rights. Because once a pet is approved, it's locked in for the life of the animal. Even if you sell the property, change agents, or move interstate. And if you have a valid reason to object, you got to prepare to plead your case in front of a tribunal, NCAT. And this is the mob that helps dodgy developers escape from building dodgy buildings. Because every time you go to NCAT to sue these builders, the bloody dodgy builders always win. And you'll be speaking to some random person that has more say over your property than you do. And you know what, guys? You can't raise your rent. You can't add extra conditions. You can't protect yourself financially. And out of all of this is happening during a housing crisis, guys, where we desperately need more investors into this market, not less. This is definitely going to have a massive ripple effect that will play out. So right now, let's talk about the rental market consequences that no one wants to admit. This is where the policy dream ends. And this is where the rental market nightmare begins. Because what happens when investors get fed up with being treated like walking ATMs? Well, just like me and you as investors, we'll just leave. And right now, there's an exodus of investors at the moment. Landlords have already been exiting the market since whispers of this reform coming. And now that it's law, the trend will only accelerate, guys. And the result, you might ask? Less rental stock, tighter vacancy rates, higher rents for everyone. The very people this policy claims to help will be the ones most hurt. And yet the government is still smiling for the cameras like they have saved a shelter dog. So let's be honest, guys, of what this is all about. Let's call this as what it is. Pet policy theater, guys. This isn't a housing solution. This is a public relations stunt made to get likes, not results. I mean, the government doesn't want to talk about tax reforms, zoning laws, or housing supply. You know, the hard stuff. So instead, they roll out these TikTok-friendly reforms like pet in every rental and leave investors to pick up the bill. And meanwhile, tenant advocates are cheering until they realize the rental they were fighting for just got sold to an owner-occupier who doesn't want anyone's dog on their floorboards. Because when you scare off the people who actually provide 90% of our renting housing at the moment, you don't create inconvenience. You create a collapse, guys. So right now, here's my final thoughts, guys. Do you want to stay in the system or learn how to beat it, guys? And right now, I'm not talking about pet policy. This is just part of the growing trend that's pushing investors out, where we're kind of shifting the blame on investors and landlords. And then we just pretend that we're solving the rental crisis while the whole system erodes from the inside. So here's a question, guys. Are you going to keep playing the rules in the game that's rigged against you? Are you ready to learn how to play smarter? So what I suggest you to do is, if you want to talk more about how to grow a property portfolio, even in the midst of these ridiculous policies, I suggest you to book a 50-minute strategy call with me or a 60-minute deep dive strategy call with me. Either of these calls, I'll help you provide clarity with holistic lending solutions. And on top of that, I'll introduce you to my financial planners, my accountants, and also recommend a buyer's agent to help you find the right property to grow wealth, even in the middle of this so-called bogus pet reform. But anyway, guys, jump in the comments, let me know what you think of this new New South Wales pet reform. If you love this video, hit the subscribe button below, smash the like button, and hit the bell notification for future videos like this. And until next time, I'll see you on the other side, and thank you for watching another episode of That Property Roast.